Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another review. I enjoyed the first one so much that I decided that I would do more of these on my channel. And I would start it off with my second one by doing one on Monster Hunter Generations for the Nintendo DS. The only issue with this is I'm not going to be able to put gameplay of it while I do the review, so I'll just throw up some pictures and show you some things on that way. So, without further ado, let's get started. The pros and cons of this game. Start off with the pros. One is you can put a lot of hours into this game, even though some people feel like it's repetitive. This game isn't for everyone, but it is a lot of fun if you just like to, I guess, hack and slash on some monsters and have some interesting combinations and different weapons. The good thing about it is the DS has online play for this game, so you can team up with like 4 other people, which makes this game even more fun. And the game still retains the Monster Hunter feel from all the previous Monster Hunters, with a slight variation, which is the hunter arts and styles that they added. They're actually really interesting and give you a good advantage on monsters that you're fighting in this one, because even when you evade, you can do aerials. It's a lot more complicated, but it's also a lot more fun, and it adds some interesting perspective to the game. The weapons on this game are still all the same from the previous. I believe the last one was Monster Hunter 4, and basically they haven't added anything new to it other than the hunter arts and the styles for all the different weapons, which are very interesting. The grinding on this game isn't that taxing because honestly you're not really doing the same battle over and over, and the mechanics of the monsters, they're very wild and chaotic for some of them, and other ones are a little bit more predictable, but even so, they're mostly challenging unless you're fighting the lower level monsters. So, those are mostly the pros of this game. As I've noticed, I put in 9 or 10 hours in this game, and it's still a lot of fun, and I really enjoy it. It's a good game to play when you're watching Netflix or just doing something else in the background. But the cons of this game, unfortunately, it's on the DS. That's one of my biggest things. The DS layout is very uncomfortable when you're playing this game, and I still remember when I played the first one for the PlayStation 2, it was so much easier to play on a PlayStation controller than it is to look at the controller while the controller is there. You get what I'm saying? The camera on this game is still tricky, just like in the previous ones. It's still the same. It can be really tricky when you're trying to evade. You have to turn the camera around, or you can hit the L button and it'll center it back to your point of view on your character. The only con of the gameplay is the fact that the only thing extra is the hunter arts and the styles. I haven't really noticed anything else. I'm sure they've added a few more monsters, and that's usually what they do in the Monster Hunter series, so you can consider that a con, but still, the game's still a lot of fun regardless. The lack of information of ranking up online, because there's 2 ranks. You can rank up on the single player, or you can rank up online or offline in the Hunter's Hub. And they don't really tell you how to get to that next rank like they did in the other, they didn't in the other ones either. And I really wish they would change that just a little bit. Sometimes they'll hint at it in the single player. The lady will tell you, maybe if you do this one, you'll get a step closer to the urgent. So that's about the most you're going to get out of that. They don't really have a 1 to a 2 level up bar anymore. It seems like you have to do an urgent quest to get to HR2, or so on and so forth. The story is underdeveloped, just like in every other Monster Hunter. It's there. You can read it, you can listen to it, but you really don't need it to do anything. You can just skip all by it and keep doing what you're doing. Chatting online is extremely hard because on the DS it's kind of a small screen, depending, even if you have the bigger one, and you have to use the stylus to tap the letters to basically send a message, and you only get less than a sentence worth out of it. You can't really, there is a character limit on your typing, and it's very short. You don't really need to chat with other people, and they have preset messages, but it wouldn't be a bad thing if you could. And when I say grinding isn't taxing most of the time, the only time that I've noticed that it's really taxing is mostly in higher levels or event grinding. Because in event grinding, it is the same thing, and it usually is the same area, and it's a really small area when they do events. But other than that, this game is a lot of fun. I highly recommend it if you have a DS, if you have any interest in Monster Hunter, if you like the other ones. This is a really good game to play. And honestly, you will sink a lot of hours into this game if you really enjoy it. It's not for everyone, but if you have an interest, I'd say check it out. It's not that expensive, and it's really good. It's good. It's worth the money that you'll pay. And those are all my opinions on this game. If you liked it, throw a like. If you really liked it, you can throw a share, subscribe, doesn't matter. But I hope you all have a good day, and see you later.